already won around Oniru Market Road, because that's the first toll plaza that will go live. As the other ones are now developed, the alternative routes are going to also be developed. But please let me nail the point about the fencing. Look, it's a safety factor, all right? You can't just have, in a faster flowing environment, people running up and down the road, whether it's chickens or horses or human beings, as the case may be. We're trying to avoid accidents. An example I often use, because there's a number of schools in the area. Picture that young kid who kicks his or her ball, it goes out of the playground, it ends up in the road. That child runs out there, tries to pick it up. God knows what.
What about those who own fuel stations, for instance?
Well, the way these things are dealt with in developed environments is that access roads are provided, which happens to be a responsibility of Lagos State under this public-private partnership arrangement. Lagos State, I believe, is gradually building these things, but you don't just find people driving on and off and making U-turns just at any point you like. It doesn't happen that way in an international standard.
So what are you providing? What are you providing? What is LCC providing for that man whose business is located along the expressway?
Well, what LCC is providing is this, and this is the way the public-private partnership arrangement with Lagos State works. We are providing defined entry and exit points at safe locations, which will then be joined into the wider access road network that is being constructed by the state. That's what we're doing. That is what we are obliged to do, okay? And in fact, even though Lagos State asked us to go and just shut down, they've given an order we can shut down all the accesses. This is now, I think, from the 7th of April that was asked. We've taken some out, but where we're seeing people are being landlocked, for example, we've actually allowed more time because we are considerate. And we're working, for example, with various ministries in the state so that they can bring these access roads where they are needed.
Okay. From everything that you've said, we are looking at what you are offering and what you are giving back.
Sure.
Now, in terms of, is it just for you to because you started the project and already you're building the toll gates and the roads are not even visible. Why is that so?
Okay. Well, again, that's a very simple thing. When you look at construction and you look at a road like this, there are different pieces of infrastructure involved. You have toll plazas which are in isolated locations. You have roads which themselves are not just putting down a bit of earth and you suddenly put, asphalt on top. You're layering the road. You're building drainage systems. And there's a plethora of issues. Importantly, you cannot effectively build the road until the right-of-way is clear, free of encumbrances, etc. One of the biggest challenges to date has been the pace at which that ROW right-of-way has been cleared, especially with PHCN pylons in the way. Everybody's working together, the Lagos State government, PHCN. It's major work. But the point ultimately, Victor, is that each of those pieces of infrastructure have a different sequence and amount of time and work involved. So a toll plaza, for example, typically can take up to 9 months to construct, whereas the road, as you go along, doesn't quite do that. And there's a lot of things going on that you don't see. A lot of that work happens at night. There's a lot of layer work going on, like bedrock foundation laid down, drainage. There's a lot of excavation we're doing. Dealing with drainage problems, I would add, are way outside our area. But we know, take for example, a lot of the sand filling that's gone on some parts of the axis has blocked up the drainage outfalls. And that's why some of the villages around here are being flooded. We've taken it upon ourselves, we're working with the state, but we're helping to do those things.
All right, finally, what is the time frame of this work, what you've started?
Sure.
When are you supposed to conclude this job?
Okay, we continue to aim to finish, and when I say finish, this is to Aleko Beach Junction. That's roughly 50 kilometers from the starting point of Falamo Bridge Loop. We're still aiming to have this done by the end of 2011, but I have to always say at the same time, Victor, that this is contingent upon everybody doing what they have to do. The government has its own responsibilities, has to do it on time, in the way required, and so on and so forth, such as provide the right-of-way for encumbrances, deal with the land issues which are not our responsibility, like I've explained to you several times. Even the governor has also confirmed that. As those things are done and the right-of-way is given to us without the encumbrances, then we can move with faster speed. But we still believe we can get there by end 20.
Thank you very much for
Victor,
coming.
thank you very much indeed.
And this is where we conclude Head2Head this edition. My name is Victor Ayara. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.